You can't see my full shoulder width, which is too bad for the audience, but...
Whatever.
Anyways, hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dual Wellness, the show where a mother named Camille, also she's 56, there's a little bio about her, and her son, Max, who's a man, and her son, also, is 23. Today, we're going to be talking about judgment.
Judgment.
What does that mean? I'm talking about judgment from friends, your family, anyone you know, strangers on the street, people you drive past while you're picking your nose.
Oh, gross.
Any of those types of people. And
why did you go there?
It happened to everyone. It's a Seinfeld episode.
It was an itch.
Yeah, exactly. All those kinds of things. And, you know, how to deal with that, how to get over it, how to mature with it. Mom, do you have more thoughts on that? Because I don't.
You don't have any thoughts.
That's the end of the episode.
You're still struggling with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, when Max and I first talked about discussing this subject, I actually have really strong thoughts on it because I'm a lot different at the age of 56 than I was at the age of 23.
Yeah.
100%. Than I was at the age of 33, or quite honestly, 43. Mm-hmm. It took me many years to deal with, unfortunately, I do come from a background of people that love me, that like to state their opinions strongly about certain actions I was making and stuff like that. So, and I really let it affect me. I mean, it was, here's an example, a very good example of something that we discussed in a previous episode, before I got bariatric surgery. Holy cow. Did I get a lot of judgment on that? Did I get, and you know, before I did that, I'm an open book about everything. Anyways, I just figure I'd rather have everything out there and let the chips fall where they may, or whatever that stupid saying is. So before I had my bariatric surgery, I told everybody about it. There was a lot of judgment as far as it's the easy way out. Why don't you just do this? Why don't you really give dieting a try? As if I hadn't just spent the last 40 years of my life doing that. But it was so judgment upon judgment upon judgment. Thank goodness by that time, because like I said, I had given myself that present as my 50th birthday present to myself. Thank goodness by the time that happened, I had already started placing very firm boundaries. And that is how I believe that is the healthiest, I want to say healthiest, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. The healthiest for me way of dealing with judgment from other people. I have very firm boundaries. I'm an open book. I'll discuss anything. I will answer almost pretty much any question that anyone brings to me. And you can state your opinion. That's totally fine. I'm going to receive what I want to receive. Yeah. You don't have everything that everybody gives you. You don't have to take it.
No.
And that was a big realization for me. That was, I was always that person that thought because I loved someone, be it family, friends, whoever, because I loved someone, if they were giving me something, their opinion, whatever, if they were giving something to me, I had to take it and absorb it. And you don't.
No.
You do not.
No.
You should take, it's as with anything. Any opinion you see online, any diet, anything you read, blah, blah, blah. Take what makes sense to you. Take what, think about it. Take what makes sense to you. Leave the rest. Leave that person's judgment with them. You know don't have to receive it.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about that? How do you deal with it at the age of 20? Because like I said, when I was 23, I was taking all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was crushing.
It was hard.
Crushing.
I think a lot of the time, subconsciously, I still do it, but I also do believe that, I think in some ways I have a bit of a God complex.
I didn't expect that.
So,
you think you're God?
Well, I think a lot of times people have opinions, and I take them in a way where I don't accept them, but I think I don't accept it in a rather judgmental, probably unhealthy way.
Oh, you turn it around on them. You're judging them for judging you.
Yeah, well, I'm more like, I don't think, this is gonna sound very mean, but I'm like, I don't respect your opinion, and I don't think I wouldn't listen to your judgment on me because I don't think you're as smart as me.
Okay.
Which probably isn't a healthy way of viewing them because
no, know what, that makes sense because I think that because like when you and I have conversations and stuff like that, because you respect me,
yeah,
and you respect my intelligence and everything. If I try not to, but I'll state my opinion. It's not me judging. I try not to judge my children,
right?
Unless they're really
doing something really stupid,
really screw it. Yeah. But you'll listen to mine.
I will listen to you because this is the thing. I see it like people like to say a lot of stuff, and they like to participate in a conversation that they might have done very little research or thought about very little, but they want to throw their 2 cents in there, which is cool.
Which is cool.
That's fine. That's all right. However, typically, if I'm proposing something or if I'm talking about it with somebody and I'm genuinely contemplating having it affect and change my life to the point that I'm even bringing it up in the first place, and then somebody comes in who clearly has not even attempted to look into that. Do
anything like that, yeah.
And they're like, bro, you probably shouldn't do that. I'm like, I disagree with you, and I think you're just saying this just to say it. And I don't...
Do you say that out loud to the people?
I'm like, do you actually believe that? Or are you just saying it? Is that...
So you might challenge them a bit.
Yeah, it's more so like, look, I appreciate what you're saying. I appreciate what you're doing. You're trying to participate, and you're trying to have something. Why would I even bring it up in the first place if I wasn't looking for some kind of alternate opinion or alternate views or something? I would just do it if I had no questions about it, right?
Right.
And so I do usually say that or bring that up, but
I have a different situation. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, but when you said if you were completely and totally confident in whatever your decision was, you would just do it. Right. So, how do you handle, because people still judge, so how do you handle if you are completely and totally confident in your decision and yet you get judgment anyway?
Well, that's a... I don't give it...
You don't receive it?
I don't receive it. I don't think about it at all because it's more so like... That's what I'm saying. I might handle it in a way that is unhealthy because I see that judgment and I see it more of as I kind of start to judge the other person. It's kind of hard to explain.
It's a confidence thing.
It is a confidence thing. It's hard. It's conflicting to say, I want to be confident about this and not receive a judgment, but do it in a way that is purely just, hey man, that's cool that you said that and that's okay and I'm just going to ignore that. It's more so...
Yeah, that's totally fine to do that. Yeah.
But it's hard to do that at times without flipping it around and giving yourself a reason as to why you don't receive it. And typically I go to the reason of...
I know more than you.
I am doing this because I have thought about it and you clearly have not. So why would I allow your opinion to alter my decision?
Gotcha. Are you comfortable with that, or do you feel like you need to...
I am comfortable with that in some ways, but I think at the same time, it's easy to let that go too far and
have a God complex.
And start to... because I genuinely don't think I am a better person than other people in any way.
I know you don't.
But it's hard to practice like the Buddha's teaching of like you are the lowest one in the room and everybody else is a teacher to you. It's very hard to.
I think there is a fine line, and this is going off on a different subject, Howard, but it's not. There's a fine line between confidence and pride.
Yes, exactly.
There is a fine line between that. You can be confident and not be prideful.
Yes.
When you are prideful, you are not willing to listen to anyone else. You are not willing to, you're not even willing to, someone passes judgment on something, whether it's going to affect your opinion or not. And if you are prideful, you're going to be, you're going to have a
all right, big guy, all right, pal,
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm at right now, is I know that I should not allow other people's judgments to change what I'm doing. I should go with what I'm doing if I'm confident in the fact that that's exactly what I want.
Yep.
But at the same time, I have not fully developed as a 23-year-old all the strategies or patterns in my brain to undo the pre-existing negative responses to it.
That's true. But no, I think you're getting there in a much better, faster way than I did. I mean, because like I said, I really didn't start this until I would say probably my mid to late 40s.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I was your age, I was extremely impacted by everybody else's opinion of me. I bounced back and forth from being, I'm going to change this and change this and change this and change this because this person said all of these different things, or I would go to the other extreme and be, screw you, whatever. Yeah. I'm going to do me. I'm doing whatever I want, and so I bounced back and forth. I did not feel confident enough within myself to just follow a certain path.
Yes.
And I feel you are closer to that path at your age than I was.
Yeah, it's. I agree. I think I'm better.
Exactly.
No. I do think it's hard to. I think you're always going to have those thoughts. I think your brain is immediately going to go to some kind of rehearsed thought of, wow, maybe I should change this, or wow, this person,
and that's okay.
or the other extreme of, wow, this person has no idea what they're talking about. I think it's your brain. Most people's brains are going to go to those
one
extremes,
or the other,
and it's finding a balance between those two, and
figuring out what you're going to receive and what you're going to reject.
And I think that's how really, really great minds are born in general. People who are able to.
I think your mind is great.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
I think mine is too.
Yeah.
But I think that's how really amazing, revolutionary concepts and stuff are developed. Is just somebody sticking with their vision, and not letting anything negative stop it, or taking too much from somebody else's opinion.
You can't waffle.
But then there's also...
You can't bounce back and forth.
Then there's also like the example of George Lucas with The Phantom Menace, where it's like nobody had the confidence in the room to tell him, hey man, you probably shouldn't do this.
Oh gosh, I wish they would have.
Yeah, and then George Lucas sat down and watched the movie and said, I might have gone a bit far in a few places. and exactly, you got to find the balance.
You got to find the balance. George Lucas should have found that balance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
as much as I love him, yes.
He's a cool guy. Shout out George Lucas.
Yeah.
I'll meet you someday. He's gonna come on Dual Wellness.
Probably.
That would be cool. But anyway, so that's our opinions on that. That's my opinion on it.
What's your experience with it? What is your experience with, do you have a hard time with it? Have you reached a point where you're, confident enough in your decisions to receive or reject?
Yeah.
How do you feel? What do you feel? Let's talk about it. Comment below.
Do you feel like we're judging you right now and our videos are personal attacks against you as a human being? They're not, but do you feel that way?
Gosh, I hope not. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Bye. No.
Don't like, don't subscribe, don't comment.
Like,
don't
subscribe. If you're new here, yay! If you're returning, yay! Thanks, you guys.
Thank you. We do appreciate you a lot.
All
Very
right.
much so.
Yes, we do. All right. Bye, friends.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a good day.